Welcome you all for direct taxation session 2. Before going to session 2, we will recall the things whatever we had discussed in session 1. We had discussed regarding introduction of tax, objectives of tax, taxation. So what do you mean by tax in India? What do you mean by Income Tax Act 1961? What are the scope of Income Tax Act 1961 and income tax? So these were the contents which we had discussed in the section 1 of your direct taxation. So now moving on to section 2. So today we will be discussing the concepts related to the basic concepts, which are the basic concepts of tax. So where we will discuss regarding assessment year, regarding previous year, uniform previous year, exception to general rule of previous year, person, assessee, under assessee, what is deemed assessee, assessee in default, and income. So these are the topics we will be discussing in today's session. So first and foremost thing, we all know what is tax, right? So it is a compulsory payment what an individual will be making. So to make all the assessment related to your tax, we should know these basic concepts. So first and foremost concept is your assessment year. So what do you mean by assessment year? So here assessment year, again as per income tax, the section is 2 subsection 9. So based on this, assessment year means a period which will be starting from your April 1st and ending on March 31st of your next year, right? So that is said as your assessment year. It is also said as financial year, income tax year. Okay. So for example here, for this academic semester or this academic assessment year is 2021. So means which will be commencing from your April 1, 2020 to end of your March 31st, 2021. So this will be your assessment year. Hope you are clear about this. Next is moving on to previous year. So what do you mean by previous year? So for this section is 3. So here we say that whatever the income earned in the year will be taxable in the next year. For example, if I am earning an income this year, my income will be taxed in the next coming year. So that will be said as your previous year. So for this academic, your previous year will be 2019-2020. So where it starts from 1st April 2019 to 31st March 2020. So normally in India the practice is here the righty returns will be filed at the end of every year or end of every financial year, whatever the end it will be coming. So at that point of time they will be making the tax payment. So hence here the tax previous year for the tax will be followed as 1st April 2019 to 31st March 2020, which will be paid by the assessee. So this is previous year. Next thing is uniform previous year. So what do you mean by this previous? Hope you know what is previous year. Now what is this uniform previous year? For example, whenever we start up any business or any ventures, we won't start as usual on April 1st itself. So what we can do, any mid of the year or any mid of the financial year, we may start our business. So at that point of time, from the tax perspective, so what should be the assessment year or when the tax should be charged? So those things should be known. So for that particular purpose, since the assessment year of 1989 to 90 onwards, they said that you should follow the financial year. So financial year in the sense April 1st to March 31st, that will be said as your financial year where that has to be assessed. So based on this, you think about which are the sources of income you have got as an individual. So based on that, assessment will be made. So if I am starting, for example, if I start my business on, for example, 1st July I am starting my business. So what will be my previous year here for which? So means my previous year will be considered from 1st July 2019 to next year's 31st March of 2020. So that becomes my financial year. So based on this, they say that everybody should follow the uniform previous year. Again, for example, if I start my venture in 9th or 10th of January 2020, if we take up. So to end your previous year, it will be hardly 3 months remaining. So that will be considered for your assessment, means from January 10, 2020 to March 31st, 2020, your things will be considered. So based on that, we will put the tax. So that is why we also need to know that what is uniform previous year, means any venture or any business what you are starting, it should be followed with a financial year, that is which starts from every year of your April 1st as well as ends up in your March 31st. Okay. Next is, now you know what is previous year, what is uniform previous year. In general sense or in general rule, what we say that previous year means, so whatever the income I am earning now, this will be charged in the next year. So the earning, whichever the income I earned in which year, that will be said as my previous year. So where there are certain exceptions towards this general rule of your previous year. So what do you mean by that exception towards your general rule of your previous year? Means which will be in that particular income whatever you are earning in that particular year, or which is also said as your previous year, it will be taxable in that particular year itself. Means in the previous year itself your income will be taxable. Which are those? Means first one is income of your non-resident shipping company. So where on that particular year only it will be chargeable. So we say that exception to general rule of your previous year. Next one is income of person leaving India either permanently or for longer duration of period. If he is leaving India at that particular time also, this general rule of previous year will not be applicable, where exception will be applicable. Next thing is income of the body formed for a shorter durations, means any bodies which will be formed for a shorter durations, that will also be considered under the general rule of previous year, where exceptions will be made. Next thing is, in case if any person is trying to transfer his assets to some other person to avoid the tax, so at that particular time also this exceptions will be involved. Next thing is, in case if you discontinue the business, so at that particular point of time also it will be made assessment based on the previous year itself. Means previous year whatever the income you are earning in that particular year itself, the tax will be levied for that particular business or for that particular individual. So where normally previous year, in the sense what I said, it is the income year which you will be earning as of now, which is for this academic, what is the assessment year and what is the previous year. Assessment year is, that is 2020 to 2021 is your assessment year. Previous year, in the sense it is starting from 1st April 2019 to 31st March 2020. So this is very essential from your examination viewpoint, as well as for any problems you work it out. These two things you need to remember. Next thing is, we will move on to person. So now we have discussed with assessment year, previous year, uniform previous year, exception to general rule of your previous year. Next we will move on to person. So person means, what is a person? As an individual we know person in the sense person. It might be an individual what we come across, where income tax authority defines as per section 2 subsection 31, it says what is a person. So where whatever the income which will be earned under 5 heads of income, that will be charged with respect to saying it as total income of an individual or total income of every person in the particular year. So as per section 2 subsection 31, what do you mean by person? So where first thing is, as per the income tax norms, they say that an individual. So an individual, in the sense it might be myself, an individual. So next thing is a Hindu undivided family. means a HUF we can call it as, where it might be any joint family who are together at that point of time, it will be assessed as an Hindu undivided family, which is also said as person as per income tax authority. Next thing is a company. For example, so whatever the book we read, so it is having its own publication, that is Taxman Publication Limited. So that is also said as a company. So where that is also a person which will be assessed as a person for your income tax. Next thing is a firm. For example, XY company or XYZ company, they are running their business. So it is also considered as a person. Next thing is an association of person or body of individuals, where it might be incorporated or it might not be incorporated. In the sense, it might be a registered organization or it might be a non-registered organization, where association of person means association of person in the sense people coming together for a common purpose or a common goal to fulfill their activities, fulfill their needs. It might be the financial need. For example, you will be seeing many cooperative societies. For example, if you take up Mysore, we come across Graduate Cooperative Society. So where that is also a association of person or body of individuals. So that will also be said as person. Next thing is a local authority. So a local authority in the sense whichever the places we are, so at that particular place a corporation or an authority will be there to control the activities. For example, if we take up Mysore, so where Mysore City Corporation is a local authority, that will also be treated as a person. Next thing is every artificial judicial person who are not falling under the above categories. So which are those above categories? An individual, a HUF, a company, a firm, an association of person or body of individual, a local authority. If anything which is not falling under all these things, that will be coming under your last person, that is every artificial judicial person. For example, we find universities in Karnataka. For example, it might be Mysore University, it might be VTU University, right? So this will be treated as artificial judicial person. So these are the persons which will be said as person under section 2 subsection 31, where based on these aspects total income will be charged with a tax. Clear? Next thing is assessee. So that is assessee. So in assessee we will read about deemed assessee as well as assessee in default. So what do you mean by this assessee? Under income tax norms, they say that section 2 subsection 7 will be saying about assessee. So it seems to be a new word for you guys. It might be okay, but here what do you mean by this assessee? So here assessee means a person who is liable to pay the tax. For example, I am working over here, I will be getting a salary, I am liable to pay the tax. So I will be said as an assessee. Most of the times for that purpose I am called as assessee. Sometimes I will not pay the tax, I will become a defaulter. So at that time any interest will be levied on that or any penalty will be levied on that. That particular time also I will be assessed by income tax authority. So I will be said as assessee. So in terms of your income tax act, what do you mean by assessee? In the sense, assessee means a person who is liable to pay any taxes or any sum of money, that is in terms of interest, in terms of your penalty or anything under the tax will be said as an assessee. So where they will be assessed on 4 categories. There are 4 categories on which basis it will be assessed. So how they will be assessed? In first category, which are the person, they will be assessed. So in your first person, as I earlier said, an individual or a person who is paying the tax or else who is paying any sum of money, that is in terms of your interest or in terms of your penalty which is payable by an individual, will be assessed in your first category. Means here you are just paying your tax, as well as in case if you are not paying it, whatever the interest that will be levied or the penalty that will be levied, you will be paying in the first category. Next thing is second category. So here in your second category, sometimes you become a defaulter. So at that particular time, proceedings will be there. Proceedings in the sense legal issues will be there, or legal aspect will be involved related to your individual aspect, or it might be related to your company aspect. So where you will be liable to pay that amount. So where at what time you have not been assessed or you have not paid your tax. So for that particular things you are assessed and you have to pay the tax, one thing. Or else most of the time your companies are running under loss, or you have not got any income, so you are not assessable, so you cannot be assessed. Next thing is, in case if you want to get any refund of your amount at that particular time, so these persons will be assessed in your second category. Next thing is your third category. So here in your third category we will be saying it as deemed to be an assessee. So means every person who is deemed to be an assessee. So what do you mean by this deemed to be an assessee? For example, you will be having a kid or any person or who is also called as minor. So he will be earning an income. So but he will not be coming under the purview of the law as he is not at age of 18 years and above. So at that particular time, on behalf of that particular kid below 18 years person, somebody else will be paying the tax. So where you will be assessed as deemed to be an assessee, means for example it might be a children below 18 years, any person who is earning an income but he will not be paying the tax directly. On behalf of him, some other person, it might be parent, it might be the guardian who will be paying the tax. So based on this is the third category. Next thing is fourth category. So here fourth category means a person who is deemed to be assessed in default. So here default in the sense you will be not paying the tax, or else you have not followed your TDS, you have not filed your TDS. So tax deduction at source is not happened, you will fail to pay the tax. So that person will be assessed in your fourth category. So assessee will be assessed based on these four categories. So to assess the person based on these four categories, you should also know what do you mean by deemed assessee, as I earlier said. So what do you mean by deemed assessee? A person will be assessable in respect of any income or losses which will not be held by himself, but he will be held responsible to pay that. For example, if son is earning an income who is below 18 years or is a minor, so at that point of time guardian will be held responsible or parent will be held responsible to pay the tax. So they are said as deemed assessee. Next thing is assessee in default. So what do you mean by this assessee in default? As I earlier said, you will be involved with certain income tax act obligations. So at that point of time you will fail to pay the taxes or you will fail to fulfill the tax norms. So at that particular point of time you become a defaulter. So when you become a defaulter, you will be said as assessee in default. Clear? Next thing is we will move on to the last concept of the session, that is income. So what do you mean by income? So here as per the income tax section is 2 subsection 24, it will be saying the income tax, income regarding income. So what do you mean by income? Everybody knows income in the sense it might be profit or whatever the things I will get or whatever I earn, all those things. So where income tax authority also says what is income, right? So here income, they say that it is a periodical monetary return which you will be getting on a sort of regularity. Means for example, if I am working over here, I will be getting a salary every month. So what it is an income, it is a periodical payment what I will be getting every month. So on a regular basis till I am working. So what we say that income should be recurring in nature. We also say that it might be recurring in nature. Means if I am working here, I will be getting a salary. So where it will be periodical, first month, second month, to whatever the time I will be working here, I will be getting a salary. Then in terms of broadly, if I am saying this, in terms of if you say that income in a broader sense, so at that time what we say here is it will be a true increase of your amount of your wealth. Means so whatever wealth you are having, increase of that true value of increase of that wealth will be said as your income, where it comes for a person during certain period of time. Based on that, this is what income for a means. Income will be a periodic monetary return with a sort of regularity which is recurring in nature. In broader sense, it will be said as true increase of your amount of wealth, right? Next thing is, what are the features of this income? To understand this income clearly, we need to know what are the features of income. So what might be the features of income? First one is definite source. So definite source in the sense, you should have a source of income. So which are the sources of income we came across here? As I earlier quoted in the previous classes, we have told that there are 5 heads of income. So which are those? One is your salary head, another one is house property, capital gain, business and profession, and income from other sources. These are the 5 sources of income what we get. So which is said as definite source, where it might be in terms of cash or it might be in terms of kind. Next thing is, income must be from outside. So income from me must be outside in the sense, I cannot earn myself the income. For example, if I employ myself, I cannot call it as an income, right? So where income should come from outside, in the sense you should be working somewhere where you will get a salary, out of that you should get your income. So we say that income from outside. Next thing is temporary or permanent. So what do you mean by this temporary or permanent? So it may be either temporarily you might be earning, or it might be permanent you might be earning. So both are type of taxes will be chargeable to tax where you need to pay. So your features of income are, one thing, there should be a definite source, and then income must be coming from outside. Next thing is in terms of temporary or permanent. So based on this, what is the extended view or extended meaning of your income tax? So you need to understand, right? So where as per the income tax norms, they specifically say that what are the incomes that will be coming under your section 2 subsection 24, or which are assessed under income section 2 subsection 24. One is profit and gains of your business, that will be dividend. Next thing, voluntary contribution by a trust, perquisite in the hands of employees, any special allowance or benefit what you get, city compensatory allowance or dearness allowance, any benefit or a perquisite of a director, any benefit or a perquisite to a representative assessee, any sum chargeable under section 28, 41 and 59, capital gains, insurance profit, banking income of a cooperative society, winning from lottery, crossword puzzle, race, card games, gambling, betting, employee contribution towards your provident fund, amount of Keyman insurance policy, fair market value of inventory, amount exceeding rupees 50,000 by way of gift, consideration for issue of shares, advance money, compensation on termination of employment or modification of terms of employment, assistance in the form of subsidy or grant. So these are said as your income, right? So in terms of, in this particular session, we have discussed regarding the concepts of your basic concepts, where we came across assessment year, previous year, uniform previous year, exception to general rule of your previous year, person, assessee, deemed assessee, assessee in default and income. So these are the concepts which is very essential for your income tax assessment. Hope you all have understood this. Thank you very much.